All right, I am Hunter Lippincott. I am here today with Dante Casella, for good friend of mine and a realtor in the area. What's going on, Dante?
Nothing much, man. I really appreciate you having me here.
Absolutely. So, for the people that want to get started, just give me like a little bit of a background of how you wanted to go the route of being a realtor, and how you made your connections throughout the area, and just like start from the beginning of what your mindset was to go that route that you did.
So it's kind of funny. I never really wanted to be a realtor. It was always like when I was younger, I used to see these yard signs and be like, hey, oh, I want my picture on that
Right.
sign. But nature took its course. Special ed was always a passion of mine, so I wanted to teach for a long time, and then I taught for a little bit. And then actually just happened to get my license from like a little moving business I had on the side.
Nice.
I worked with my team lead a lot, Mark McKenna, so I work with Pat McKenna Realtors in Marlton. So doing all that stuff with Mark, he's like, dude, you got to get your license. You got to get your license. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Ended up getting my license.
Nice.
He's been a great mentor. I've learned so much so far. Kind of just my biggest, that was the best thing that's happened so far.
Nice.
I mean, I
Yeah.
made that jump. I know I always wanted the cushion of a salary,
Right.
and people get nervous about trying to give that up and not knowing if you'll make it, sink or swim.
Right.
You're young. You got to take the jump when you can. You don't want to do
Absolutely.
it too late in life, and then
Absolutely.
you're regretting it. So
Absolutely. And you said something, your mentor. I think that's so powerful in just getting into a business. And I always look at someone that, has something that you want and is more knowledgeable of the topic at the time. And, if you listen closely, he has the wisdom already, and you just kind of took that leap and trusted him. So,
yeah, no, the leadership is very important. I mean, there's a lot of companies that I looked at, and my mom was a realtor before I was, and she was with a different team, and I interviewed there, and I just didn't feel what I felt with Mark.
Yeah.
He kind of is like, there's no BS. I'm gonna hold you accountable for everything, and then like checks in on me. Who does that?
Right,
Like
right.
besides your parents.
right. Exactly.
So there was
Really
a lot
cares.
of stuff. Exactly.
Nice.
And I knew that meant a lot because that's going to push me. I mean, I've always been, I see myself as a hard worker.
Right.
But just to have someone else that was going to believe in me and just do more and something completely new to me that I was
Right.
never, people are like, is the test hard? And then you take the test and go through the course. The real life is what's so different from the test. You can't even compare the two.
Right.
So once you pass that piece of paper, I mean, you get to get the real life experience, and that kind of shows you the ropes.
Right. Okay. So let's say before you made this switch to be a realtor, did you go to college? Did you drop out? Did you, have to go through anything to get to being a realtor other than, you said the test here?
Yeah. So I tried the school option. I love school. High school, I was involved. College, I did 2 years at RCBC.
Right.
Got my associates. And I love school. I love that. I love the connection. I love seeing people every day. I love talking to people. I was
Right.
always a student
I'm
teacher
sure that helped
relation.
you in your business.
Yes,
knowing a
yeah.
lot of
My
people.
center of influence has definitely been very important
Good.
to my business now. But when COVID hit, I was like, I'm not an online person. I can't do this. So that's when I was just working full time. And Mark's like, yo, get your license. You
Nice,
got time
nice.
now.
That was the time.
And then it kind of just like a light bulb went on,
Yeah.
and then I got my license, and here I am.
You see people go, left or right with the COVID. They either took it the right way, they started improving their physical, they started taking business serious, or they went the other way and,
Yeah.
didn't do the right thing. But okay, good. So let's say, obviously the one thing I realize with you is your network is so strong, and that's something that I always strive to do too. I always want to meet new people. I always want to, create those relationships. How has that helped you in being a realtor? Because I know connections are a lot when
Yeah.
they come to clients.
It's very important. I mean, from holding the door for the person behind you,
Yeah.
or going to a restaurant and leaving like your business card, or just seeing someone in the gym just say, yo, how was your workout?
Right, right.
Or how was your day? Or just something like that. I mean, another thing I really do is, for some people, I mean, a lot of people will probably comment once they see this drop. They'll be like, hey, Dante always wishes me a happy birthday.
Yeah.
And I think that means a lot, because like I like when people wish me a happy
Yeah,
birthday. They're thinking about me,
absolutely.
caring about me, and you follow me. So obviously you're a part of my life. So that's just something I do. I make people feel important.
Very nice.
Because, I think that's how everyone else wants to feel.
Absolutely. So how long has it been now since, you just got started? Has it been a year, couple years?
So I got my license about 2 years ago, and I've been with Pat McKenna Realtors for all 2 years now.
Okay,
So
very nice.
full-time for a year, and then tried the part-time when I was working my other job, and I just didn't have enough time to do everything throughout the day.
Nice.
So I had to make that jump full-time. So that was that cushion salary that I wanted.
Right.
Mark pushed me to, move forward and jump from that to do this full time. Yeah.
Good. And I've been keeping up with your Instagram. You're killing it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Saw a couple accolades. You got, what was it, Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, some things through that. It's really cool. South Jersey Real Producers has put me in their magazine in August, so
Very
that's
nice.
another thing I'm really excited about. I'm fortunate to be in. Just a couple other things throughout the year. So
Awesome.
yeah, I love it.
So let's say a new, agent or somebody that wants to be a realtor wants to come in. What's like the one skill that you think is so, non-negotiable to get to the, Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Closing a lot of deals, something to just be successful in your field.
So just general speaking, like, you need to have a routine. You need to wake up at a certain time,
Right.
either if it's the gym your thing or reading or something like that. Just follow a routine because that's so important, because follow-ups very important as well. Because people forget who to call and try to follow up on their leads,
Right.
and they get too much going on. You got to stay organized. So there's a little, couple mix of things that really open up for the success. I would just say stay on top of your stuff, because whatever you kill is what you eat.
Right.
This business, you're not getting paid a salary. So whatever you put into it is what you get out of it.
Right. Yeah, and it's very similar to what I want to get into. I want to be I am going to be a financial advisor coming up in September. So it's that type of thing. You got to hustle. You got to hustle up front. You got to build your book of business, and then down the line you'll live the life that you want.
Yeah.
But it's that a lot of people at our age are scared to take that risk, and what are we? I'm 22. You're what? 24.
Yeah.
Still so young. And to do it now while you don't have a lot of, expenses and things like that is huge. So definitely recommend taking that risk for anybody out there that kind of wants to go for, if people are in your ear saying, don't do that, go the practical route, that's wrong. Always look up to people that you want to follow. So, if I want relationship advice, I'm going to someone that's happily married for a couple of years, If I want, financial advice, I'm going to someone that I see that has the car that I want, the watch that I want.
Yeah.
Not that it's materialistic, but it's something that you should strive for.
For sure.
So absolutely take the risk. I agree. Okay, now where do you see yourself? Now that you're 2 years in, you're doing real well. Where do you see yourself? Going forward. I know within the business, doing your own thing. What does that look like in the next, let's say, 5-10 years?
So really just starting to brand myself. So when people are like, oh, I need a realtor, Dante Casella.
Yeah.
Dante Casella, the realtor. That's my next goal. Keep branding myself. Hopefully, maybe open my own little team, like a little brokerage possibly,
Nice.
or branch off of what we have now at Pat McKenna Realtors. So I think that's my next, my future, just
Right.
kind of finding some other people, younger guys. I got a couple of people that reach out to me, getting their licenses now, just got their license, and they're like,
Right.
hey, we want to join the team. Can you kind of show us the ropes, mentor us a little bit,
Good.
and still being young, I don't want to be like, oh, I know everything.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah. Right.
every day in real estate, something new is going to happen. So I
Right.
can't say that, and probably some of the vets of real estate aren't going to say that either. They follow something new every day.
All right, right. And just like a BS question, but what do you think? You're constantly working. What do you do to get your mind off the stress? What is it that you like to do? You like to go to the beach? Stay active. What is it for you that keeps you kind of mentally there when you have to go to work the next day?
Yeah, so I try to do the gym at least once a day. I love the sauna. I love the steam room. I love just hanging out in there and just decompressing.
Right.
I think that's so important. I'll walk at night. A couple of my buddies, we call ourselves the Neighborhood Watch.
Nice,
So
nice.
we'll get together, and it's so funny because every day someone will bring a different friend. So it's always we try to add to the group.
Good.
So I think we got
Networking
4.
there on the off
exactly.
time.
So we got 4 or
Nice.
5 guys. We do 3-4 miles, and we just shoot the shit and go around the block.
Good.
So it's nice, and then I get to look at distressed homes. I'm like, I should give them a
Yep,
call.
yep, so you're working mindlessly
yes,
while
yeah.
you're good,
so it's
man.
a win-win. But no, you just got to stay active. Your health is so important. I
Yeah.
mean, and just anything. That's what kind of just keeps you going, your body going, so then you can keep going.
True. Yeah. I see, you don't want to ever compare yourself, but I look at somebody like Mark Wahlberg. He's posting at 4 a.m. in the gym. He's playing tennis, whatever the hell it is. Successful people are the ones that are active and keeping up with their body, because when you prioritize your mental and your physical, your performance in whatever business, is going to be well off the charts compared to if you weren't prioritizing what you eat. Sauna, recovery, ice bath, things like that.
Yeah.
You're not going to perform as highly. So 100%. We got to get out there and play pickleball. So.
I know. I do enjoy playing. And that's the thing. I'll get friends text me, let's go play some hoops, or let's go pickleball.
Zach was telling me you're good.
Yeah.
You can hoop, you can hoop.
I've played a couple times.
Nice.
No, I do enjoy. I just love sports. I just like being with people and just
Right.
that engagement. I don't like talking work constantly as much as I love work.
Right.
So when I'm on the court, it's just like, yo, pass me the ball to shoot. Like we come up with a game plan there, and that's how we play.
Nice.
Because you gotta also live your life. Also,
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Absolutely.
I feel like I get caught too much in work, so I'm trying to like also set back a little bit, travel a little bit.
Work life. Yep.
Yeah,
You have to.
try to do a couple quick little trips, a couple days, and then come back, and then it helps reset yourself.
Nice.
So you got to do that.
Okay. And then another thing is, looking for clients, looking for leads. What is it that you can recommend to somebody that wants to be in your shoes as far as, is it Zillow, you're getting a lot of clients? Is it your personal brand on Instagram? Are you getting a lot from social media? What is it for you, building connections outside? What is it for you that you see now being in there for 2 years works most effectively for you?
I would say my center of influence, like growing up, I had a pretty good, building up,
Right.
meeting people.
Right.
So I think that's been very beneficial to me now. Our office, we do have an account with Zillow, so we do get some leads. And what else? And especially with Mark, he's been around the business for so long. So if he sees you working hard, he'll give you some leads as well.
Good.
And kind of just circulate throughout the
Reward
office.
you in that way.
Essentially, yeah.
Nice.
He sees who comes into the office, who's working hard, who's trying to put deals together. And he takes it all into considerations like, hey, this person's been working hard. Hey, work on this, or work on it with me together. A lot of us have a lot of the same from being from the same town
Right.
or like close towns. We all have a lot of the same connections. So he's very generous in that aspect. Like, hey, let's work on this together. I know their kids or
Right.
vice versa.
And you'll see that in a lot of good companies that really have company culture.
Yeah.
They'll invest, money, time, and these leads into you if they see you're really a hustler, because they don't want to give these leads to someone that is not going to try, obviously. So, they see you killing it for 2 years, they're going to reward you, and, you're obviously bringing in business for them. It's a win-win.
It helps everyone because especially, Mark might not want to do this forever, so
Right.
he'll definitely want to be, the face of the industry and everything like that as well. But as he builds his younger agents that can take over for him, it's a lot easier that way, less stress for him, and then more other things he can funnel in, like more lead gen, because he can sit back and really dial in to see what's working, put some more money
Right.
towards that. So
Right.
it definitely helps create more time for himself because there's only so many hours in the day.
Right,
That's the
absolutely.
issue.
So, being young and generating, the income that you have already, what is it that you, because I know you have your head on your shoulders, what is it that you, are looking into invest in right now? Or what is it that you're kind of growing on the side? Do you invest in property? Do you, look at crypto or whatever, just something on the side that people can kind of, relate to or want to do?
Yeah, so I'm not really into stocks. I don't know as much, so I can't really touch about that.
Right.
I actually bought my first property when I was 21.
Congrats.
Thank you. So I actually live in it now. So it's cool. I got a good
Nice.
rate. So it's like
Nice.
people are like, oh, the rates, all that stuff.
Yep.
So I got a good rate.
Good.
Put a lot of sweat equity into it. I actually flipped my first property this year. So I had two. Now I just have the one. Mark and I actually teamed up on it.
Very nice.
So I brought him the deal, and he's like, yo, you've never flipped a property yet. You want to do it together? And it was pretty cool. He's like, so we split it. We did all this stuff. And it was a really cool experience. So I'm ready for my next one now.
Very
That's
nice.
it.
Yeah.
So it was cool. We sold that. My goal now, I kind of want a little shore house. I'm
Nice.
thinking like in
Nice.
Margate or something like that,
Wow.
looking for a condo. So that's the goal. And
Very
then
nice.
get another place up here in the Marlton area. Do like an Airbnb at the shore, and then
Nice.
also have this condo for myself up here.
And that's a good route. I've been seeing a lot of people go, Airbnb arbitrage or, Section 8 housing.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways you can go with it. So to do a flip at 21, that's pretty incredible. Congrats.
No, it was fun. Never thought I would have done it. I just kind of was kind of thrown into it. I was like, Mom, I think I want to buy a house. She's like, all right, cool. And then she was my realtor at the time. 'Cause
Nice.
I wasn't licensed yet. So I got her to double end the deal. So she
Good.
was happy about that.
Good.
It all worked out. It was, I believe everything happens for a reason. So
Good. Yeah, I was
everything's
just going to say, what do your parents think about all your success and getting into your business, field that you got into?
Yeah, so they're excited. They're so happy for me. I'm an only child, so it's like I'm their pride and joy.
Right.
So I was just trying to keep them happy, and
Nice.
they motivate me. So supportive.
Good.
It's never. I don't think I've ever been told like no in like a good way.
Yeah.
And more so like, hey Dante, shoot for your dreams. Like no, it's not like no, don't do that. It's more like yeah, you can do it.
Very supportive parents. They
Yeah.
know you can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's always been great. I mean, having that at home, I think that's so important. So I couldn't be more grateful.
I just want to get your opinion on kind of, where you think it's going within the next 5-10 years. You think it'll, go up, down? What do you think?
So I mean, it's so interesting. I mean, and people always say, Dante, if I buy my house now, it's going to appreciate like another 100,000.
Right.
It's so hard. I mean, if I had that glass ball, everyone would be like, "Oh, Dante,
Right.
tell me what's going to happen,"
Yeah.
and I'd be like, "Yeah, buy now." But It's definitely shifting. So we're seeing some inventory stay a little bit longer on the market. It's not as competitive as it used to be with 100 people coming to an open house
Right.
or 45 offers coming in. You're seeing like 6 people coming through an open house on the weekend now,
Right.
and maybe 2 to 4 offers. So it's kind of funny how our clients are like, oh, I don't know if I want that offer.
Right.
I don't like those terms because, we were in a fantasy land. It's
Right.
waiving everything. And I know you have a couple friends in the industry, so they could definitely agree.
Absolutely.
But things are shifting come August. There's buyer's agency agreements now. So
Right.
that's a new state law where if I'll be representing you in the transaction, we're starting to show you homes, you'll have to sign a document stating that you're working with me. So it's going to
Right.
help with some of the confusion because a lot of us call it buyers are liars.
Yes.
So they'll say, oh, no, I'm not working with someone, and then end up putting an offer in with someone else.
I see.
So there is some laws that go between that also, but this is just kind of have a little bit more of a concrete answer. And be like, okay, I have this document, you signed it, like you're working with me. And that'll kind of go into like the compensation as well,
Right.
because as an agent, that's going to shift a little bit, a buyer's agent. So sellers now don't have to pay a buyer's agent. So
I
that
see.
might have to be built into the offer. So where my client might be like, hey, Dante, I know you don't work for free. What do I owe you to show me this? Or if I buy this house, what do I owe you?
Right. Okay.
So there'll be a standard compensation fee, a percentage, kind of like what we do now. So it's still kind of getting worked out. Probably that'll be end of August.
I see.
Maybe early September. They keep pushing it back because
Right.
it's so new
Right.
and they're trying to work everything out. But I think that'll. I like the buyer's agency agreement just because it's just so concrete. It's
Yeah.
not like I can't shop around agents.
Yes. Right.
And you can do it for a day. You can do it for 6 months. You can do it for however long you want.
Right.
So you can agree upon the compensation, the date, and just gives you a little bit more flexibility on that end.
Good. Good. Absolutely. What is it that you kind of look for? Do you look for more, properties within an hour? Do you even go outside of a 2-hour radius? What is it that, is kind of your sweet spot? I know
Yeah.
you're based in Marlton. Do you kind of work around the Marlton area? Do you look at beach properties?
Yeah, so I do pretty much an hour radius.
Okay.
That's probably my comfort zone. I go to the shores. I mean, just growing up down there, I know a lot of those shore towns. And
You know how nice it is to own a
I'm
beach
a
house, too.
shoebie,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I could tell you everything you want to know
Yeah.
or pretend like I do. But no, I'm very familiar with the shores. Pretty much, like I said, hour radius is my
Right.
comfort zone from Marlton. South Jersey, Burlington County is, my home, my
Good.
sweet spot.
All right. So, at the end of each podcast, we kind of ask everybody sitting right next to me, what's that one piece of advice? What's that one free sauce that, you want to give to someone that's so crucial to get into what you're doing with real estate?
I'd have to say my secret sauce would is just be nice to everyone. I think that goes a long way. If you have a smile on your face,
Yeah.
people are more inclined to work with you.
Great.
They see that, oh, he's having a good day. That means I can have a good day.
Right.
I think that just kind of rubs off the right way. And people take that sometimes for granted, but most importantly, they absorb it
Yeah.
and then can really just, want to work with you. I mean, people
Right.
are on my social media. They're like, hey, you look so happy. I love your videos.
Yeah.
Like, can you sell me a house? And
yeah.
it's so funny because those are the DMs I'll get.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah, I want to sell you a house.
Right.
So then we end up connecting, and then it might not be right now. It might be like 6 months from now, but I made that connection. So I put them in my database. I follow up. So
Right.
I mean, between just being happy and being nice and following up, I think you can't go wrong.
And it's crazy how long of a way that goes because, you can surround yourself in a room like this with
Yeah.
5 people. And if they're miserable, you're going to
Yeah.
be the 6th miserable,
Exactly.
So obviously making that positive impact, making people
Yeah.
smile, making them actually be a friend as
Yeah.
a client. You don't want to be too nice, but
Yeah.
you kind of want to lay your law
Yeah,
down.
no, for sure.
But absolutely, you want to be, making people smile. You want to have people
Mm-hmm.
kind of connect with you. So I agree 100%. And in sales and things like, that we're both getting into now,
yeah,
building those connections and having that strong network is huge, goes a long way.
yeah, no, for sure.
So thank you for coming on
Yeah,
today,
man.
Dante. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, really
and
appreciate it.
we'll be out.